Good morning, everybody. I'm Ross Patterson, the Telecommunications Commissioner, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Commerce Commission's conference, The Future with High Speed Broadband Opportunities for New Zealand. Issues associated with the transition from legacy copper-based services to what are often called next-generation fibre-based services are posing challenges for policymakers and regulators throughout the developed world. A classic chicken and egg situation has developed. The network won't be built without demand, and you won't have demand before the network is built because the applications won't be built. New Zealand's resolved this particular issue through its ultra-fast broadband, the UFB, and rural broadband, RBI, initiatives which were introduced in the Telecommunications Amendment Act last year. UFB involves the state providing concessionary funding in association with private sector investment to deliver fibre to the home to 75% of New Zealanders over 10 years. Under the RBI, the state is providing a direct grant funded by industry levy, which will have the effect of extending the existing fibre to the node network to 93% of the population and provide fixed wireless services to the remainder. The strategy behind the UFB initiative is to accelerate the rollout of ultra-fast broadband. It was recognised that the market would ultimately deliver fibre to the home in more populated areas, but that this would take some considerable time. The government's policy objective was, and I quote, to create a step change in broadband service by delivering on an aspirational goal of achieving ultra-fast broadband for the majority of New Zealanders. This is a key part of the government's wider strategy to increase New Zealand's global competitiveness, particularly compared with other OECD countries. Insofar as the RBI was concerned, it was recognised that rural investment would be commercially unattractive, yet vital to the New Zealand economy. New Zealand is therefore in the happy position that the chicken and egg debate is no longer relevant. The government has, in effect, taken the uptake risk from investors, and there is clarity and certainty as to what will be delivered and when. The focus, therefore, shifts to the demand side of the equation. The Commission concluded that a study under Section 9A to identify and inform on any factors that might impede the uptake of high-speed broadband services in New Zealand, delivered over both fixed and wireless networks, would contribute to the long-term benefit of end users of telecommunication services within New Zealand. Submissions on the draft terms of reference for the study supported this approach. As one submitter said, quote, "In our view, this study will consider an essential part of the equation that to date has been missing from UFB, that there is a need to promote competition and demand for ultra-fast broadband." Now, as part of the Commission's study and as background material for this conference, the Commission has prepared two discussion papers, one on technical issues, the other on content applications and willingness to pay, and commissioned Ernie Newman to write a third paper on issues relating to e-health and e-education. This conference is designed to explore all of those issues and more. The first day focuses on the international experience. We have speakers from Europe, the United States, United Kingdom, Australia and Canada, as well as panel discussions with local participants. The second day will have a New Zealand focus, starting with an address from our new Minister, a presentation from Alcatel Lucent, which looks at benefits of broadband specifically for New Zealand, the presentation of surveys that were conducted on behalf of the Commission to look at demand-side issues for small businesses and consumers, and a number of panel discussions. Now, importantly, the views that we will hear over the next 2 days are not the views of the Commission. They are the views of industry, of experts, and of consumers. And that is as it should be. We at the Commission want to hear from the horse's mouth, as it were, how demand-side issues will evolve. With that in mind, we've asked David Haviat to be the conference facilitator, and the running of the conference will be in David's hands. This is a role he played admirably at the Commission's Next Generation Network Conference 3 years ago, and we're very pleased to have David back. David's worked in telecommunications and related industries in Australia for 28 years, probably longer now, and now operates as a provider of regulatory management services in telecommunications and media industries. Before I hand over to David to get this conference underway, I'd like to repeat what I said in a webcast about the conference some months ago. This is an issue that affects all New Zealanders, small businesses, consumers, big businesses. There is a future with high-speed broadband for all New Zealanders. And now it's my pleasure to welcome David Habiat. Thank you and enjoy the conference.